Hello, once again, superstars. His name is Aaron, and he was born on a Tuesday.
And his name's Tommy. He's a disabled vet who's looking for a good home.
And this is the Super Pod Saga. That's right. That's what you're listening to is the Super Pod Saga. If you are a first-time listener, welcome. Thank you for checking us out. This is the podcast where Aaron and I are on a never-ending journey to discuss every single video game topic. We've been doing it for like a year now, and we still haven't run out of topics.
Yeah, there's still quite a few I have jotted down now. I've been really thinking about it, and it'll probably take us like maybe 5 years to run out of topics. Maybe 6.
Yeah. And then who knows what gaming is going to be like in 5 years. We'll probably have new stuff, too.
It'll be like that episode of Futurama where they have the iPhones and everything's like basically AR.
Man, I used to watch Futurama all the time, and I swear, like, every other week I see it's either been canceled or it's being revived. It's been, like, years like that. I always just see Futurama's back, and I'm like, Futurama's canceled, and I'm like, which is it?
No, it's coming back for sure now. It ended in, like, 2000.
This time it's for real.
Yeah, it's for sure real this time.
Us though, we will never end. Even when we run out of topics, we'll still hop on and record a podcast and just say hi and ask how everyone's doing.
And of course, nobody's there, so we just like, oh, okay.
All right, sounds good. Well, see you next week. But today we have a topic. We have an actual video game topic to discuss. Yes. But before we get to that, where can people find more of our stuff if this podcast isn't enough to whet their appetite?
It's just superpodsaga.com. Just open up Edge. I know we all love Edge at this point. It's 2023. Get over it.
Yeah.
Open up Edge. Go to superpodsaga.com. And yeah, all of our previous episodes, blog, leave us a review on the website because that'd be cool. You can check out the support page because we have a Patreon. It'd be cool if you could toss a few bucks our way. But if not, thank you anyway. Yeah,
thanks for listening. I just like having people to talk to. It's still, even a year later, it's crazy to see the numbers go up for people listening to us.
It really is. I'm so surprised we made it to 3,000. And I was going through the Superpod Saga tweets earlier, and and what was that? I think in January of last year we were only at like 600 listens, and it's wild.
Yeah, the graph for listens keeps going up, and that's super cool. I like that. It gives me the happy feeling. So thank you,
superstars. We love you.
But let's get to today's topic because it's a weird one, but I think it's going to be a fun one. Today's topic is the best in-game control mechanics, which is so specific. It's something that only we could do.
And it's going to be original flavors Superpod Saga too. It's just us. Yeah. Which by the way, what would be our original flavor? Would it be like original flavor Mountain Dew, or like would you prefer it be something else?
No, I think original Mountain Dew is actually perfect. Like I was thinking vanilla, but Mountain Dew is we're way more than vanilla. We got that sugar and that limey flavor that leaves that grating on your teeth.
Limey, holy shit! Yes, we are limey as hell.
Super limey. To explain this topic, what I mean is like, we all use controllers to play video games, right? And every once in a while, a game will use the controller in a way that is unexpected, in a way that like something only video games can do. Like everything you use the stick to move forward, but I don't know, sometimes games do special stuff. And we're gonna talk about those special things that you can only experience with a controller or other things, I suppose. Like I'm sure we could talk endlessly about the DS and Wii special mechanics, and I'm sure we'll talk about some. But does that make sense, Aaron?
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense with everything I jotted down. That's perfect.
Good, because we don't talk about our picks before we record. We just hope we're on the same page. I'm going to start because this is my topic, and I think the best starting point and example of this is it's the active reload in Gears of War. It's not very exciting, it's not very sexy, and we'll definitely have more fun things, but I think just to set a baseline, it's the active reloading in Gears of War. For those of you who don't know, in most shooter video games you hit a button to reload and then the reload animation plays while you get more bullets in your gun, and that's it. In Gears of War, you hit the right bumper to start the reload, then there's a little line, like almost like a golf game, like the Mario Golf, and you have to hit the right bumper again at the perfect timing to reload your gun at the maximum speed. If you hit the button the second time too early or too late, your gun jams, and he hammers away at it, and it takes longer for the reload.
Just beats the ever-loving fuck.
He does.
He's just like, oh,
just smashes it, yeah. And it's perfect. It's wonderful because it takes something that you never ever think about in a shooting game and makes it like stressful, because you'll be in the middle of these horrible gunfights and things are running at you and you need to wait to hit that reload button for the second time, and if you mess it up, you're gonna get messed up. Oh, I didn't even try to say it like that.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like that one. That was really unexpected of them.
You never see it. You never see it anywhere else though.
Yeah,
unless they patented it.
Like, I don't think any other shooters do that same kind of thing. Everything else is just hit X or like B if you want to be real saucy and zesty or something like that.
Or I'm sure back in the PS2 era, there was like click the right stick into reload because they always had something weird.
Yeah, there were quite I'm pretty sure there's a couple modern games where you do that, where you click the right stick to reload or something like that.
I hate that.
It's weird.
What were they thinking?
I mean, it's not so bad, but I feel like sometimes you accidentally hit it when you're just trying to aim
totally.
up. Well, I guess you didn't aim up with the right stick in the PS2 days. It would be like, I don't even know. It doesn't even do anything. You just click it into
Yeah. And now every shooter has to have a ping button. That's a new thing. Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of pings, I guess my very first one was I guess this is the game that I bring up a lot. We'll do the map drawing in Etrian Odyssey.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's good. Tell me more.
So, Etrian Odyssey, when you're in a maze, it's all first person, and the map drawing really adds like that extra layer of immersion. You make your own characters at the very beginning of your guild of like 5 adventurers, and I usually just kind of role play everything in my head. Like I'll come up with, like, you can pick their voice and like how they look and all that shit. So I'll usually just like make up a personality in my head for each character and like their different mannerisms and stuff like that. And every now and again when you're in a maze, you'll come across these little like, I guess like a text segment. It'll say something like, your adventurers come across like a tree that has fruit, and your adventurers are so hungry they want to climb that tree to get fruit. Like, how should we go about this? And I'll kind of picture everything in my head as it goes along. And the map drawing kind of adds into that too, because I just imagine one of my party members drawing on this like piece of parchment, like drawing the map as you go along, and yeah. So of course the whole bottom screen of the DS or 3DS is where you draw your map in those games, and I guess like the whole bottom screen, like the map screen, basically is made up of this huge grid, made up of like little squares, and yeah, you just draw along it. Walls here, walls there. If there's a lever somewhere or like a door, you just put a little icon there, like just drag and drop it. It's just super fun, and I always just imagine one of my adventurers drawing it as we go along, and it's super cool.
Do you actually have to like backtrack and make use of the map? Because I have never played these games, but is it like, I almost feel like if it was just a dungeon for you to go through, most dungeons I think of in games, you just go through once until you get to the end and then that's it. Do you actually do like backtracking and need to have this map?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because
awesome.
They're pretty big. Usually it's like 4, I guess, floors. Each floor is a different dungeon until you get to like where the boss is, and then you beat the boss and you go into a new dungeon. But basically, when you're going through a dungeon and say your dudes are getting low on health and mana and shit like that, they'll use a certain item. I mean, you can completely backtrack from where you started to just leave a maze and then go back to town and rest and stuff like that. But then when you go back into the dungeon, there's no checkpoints. You start from the beginning. Yeah, you do make use of that when you're backtracking, for sure.
That's awesome. That's such a cool thing. Speaking of being filled with squares, I have a video game that I've never talked about on the show. I'm pretty sure I've never even talked to you about it.
Ooh.
Isn't that exciting? I'm going to talk about Fight Night Round 2 on the GameCube.
Jesus, okay.
I played Fight Night a bunch one summer.
That's awesome.
So obviously I think the boxing game played by most people is Punch Out, which that's probably me too, which you hit one button to punch with your right arm, one button to punch with your left arm, and that's basically like, I don't know, that's how you think of throwing punches, right?
Oh yeah.
Fight Night has a really, really cool control scheme for the punching. It's all with the right stick, and okay, so if you want to just throw a quick like jab, just a straight punch forward. You just push the stick up slightly to the left for your left fist or slightly to the right for your right fist. If you want to put some more power behind it and do like a hook, you push it straight to the side, either the left or right, and then push it up. So your character will like cock his arm back a little bit and go forward. If you want to do a full haymaker, you can like pull it down to the left and then swing it up to the right, or down to the right and swing it up to the left. And your guy will pull his fist back as you're like putting it back and do the whole motion as you go through with the punch. And it, first of all, it feels awesome because you're just like moving the stick and the guy's moving his arms in time with your stick, which is super cool. But it also plays into this risk reward system. Like when you throw the jabs, just pushing the stick up, it's just quick punches that take almost no time, and they don't do a ton of damage, but it's easy quick punches. But if you want to do more damage, you're going to have to take more time to cock your arms back to throw them forward, which gives them an opportunity to block or to jab you. It just goes into this rock paper scissors game of you trying to read your opponent's punches to see how much time you're going to have, if you can throw a jab in there, or if you want to try and take a big uppercut if you see an opening. But if you miss, it's going to take you more time to recover and get back into place. It gets you in this flow that just feels amazing when you're playing it. And I only experienced that in the Fight Night games.
That is really cool. This wasn't one of my picks, but it reminds me of, did you ever play any of the skate games?
No, I never did.
Yeah, those, have you ever played any like Tony Hawk games before?
Yes, I played one on the GameCube, American Wasteland maybe?
Nice, that's a good one. So like, for those, what was it? It was like, it was just the usual like A button to jump, and you'd use like X and Y and all that shit to do different tricks. But like in Skate, you use the right stick exclusively for like for tricks. Basically, like you would hold it down and then flick it up to do an ollie, which is just a jump. Then you would like, for different tricks, you would use different, I guess, like directions with the right stick. So you would like hold it down and do like a full circle and flick it up, and you would do like a kickflip or something. And there was just all sorts of other sweet shit that you could do with that. Those types of games.
That's cool. Making good use of the sticks. I feel like I said, I never played it, but I played the Tony Hawk one, which was all buttons and moving the C stick around, which, man, I still remember it was like pretty easy. Just like, it was like, go to this place and do this trick. And then one time it was like, okay, get a score of 7 bajillion in 30 seconds. And I was like, I don't know how to do this. And I tried over and over and over again because I had that childlike freedom and no time to do anything. I spent like 4 hours just trying to get this score. I ended up just jumping on a pole and spinning around endlessly until I got it.
And then in the meantime, Kiss's "I Wanna Rock and Roll All Night" is just playing on a loop.
Over and over again. Oh man, I remember you could grab onto the back of a car to get you to go places faster, and I thought that was the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, skitching or whatever the hell it's called. Whatever the weird term.
Oh my gosh, I love skitching, man.
Dude, yes. Speaking of skitching, have you ever heard of? I never talk about this series either, but have you ever heard of Denpamen?
What?
Okay, so it's the series that was on the 3DS.
Oh yeah, Denpamen. They came by Wave.
Yep. There's 3 games. Of course, the third one is the best because it adds just lots more shit. But I guess the big like gimmick with it is that in order to get more Denpamen, you would use the 3DS camera, and basically it was all AR or augmented reality.
Yeah.
And you just be whipping your 3DS all over the goddamn place, looking for more Denpamen, and like you aim the camera at them, and then I forget exactly. I think you just press A and you fucking got them. But yeah, it's just the weirdest thing because like Denpamen would have different antenna toppers and different like color suits and different faces and shit like that too.
Mm-hmm. Just like people.
And exactly, or like cars in Rocket League. But yeah, the different colors and different patterns and shit like that had to do with their rarity, I guess, or like how powerful they were and stuff like that. So like guys that were like zebra striped and had like a spiky ball on their antenna would have like really good fire spells or something. I forget, but it's just pretty cool, wacky little gimmick. Like, and then the rest of the game is just like a dungeon crawler. You just go through dungeons,
of course,
fight bad guys in turn-based battles, and then they can equip different like bows or like a bow tie and shit like that. And Denpamen is silly.
Talk about underutilized things. I only played with the AR camera on the 3DS when I first got it because it came in with like that pack-in stuff. It came in with those cards. That was so cool. It was like put the card on the table, and I did it, and then it was like, okay, now stuff's gonna flip out of the table, and it looked good. It wasn't like crappy video game. You can tell this is fake. It like looked like things were flipping out of your table.
With the like what 480p fucking 3DS camera.
Yeah. Or it like you could take pictures of people's faces and they put it. There was a game where they became enemies.
Oh, face raiders.
Yeah, face raiders. So they burst through the wall, and it's your family's face because it was Christmas when you got the 3DS.
Oh, good stuff. Goddamn, the 3DS was so cool.
Man. It was. I did you ever do any of the pass stuff, the street pass games?
Street Pass Plaza, baby. I did so much of that. There was this one mini game thing in there. I forget exactly what it's called, but it was like you build your own little like cars, like your own little like remote control cars, and you could put different parts and shit on them and race other people. That shit's sweet.
I did the one where it was like a set of levels and they would get progressively difficult.
Yes. Where you rescue the princess or whatever?
Maybe. I didn't get very far because I hit a roadblock, and then I had just randomly someone actually street passed into my game, and they had like all this cool stuff, and they beat the boss for me, and I was like, thank you, stranger. That was very helpful.
Was it like where you just walk up to enemies and like you have to use different spells to fight them and shit?
I remember spells, but I don't remember picking anything. I thought it was more automated than anything. I could be wrong. I barely played it.
I'm pretty sure that's the I forget what that one's called as well too, but I think it's like just rescue the princess or some shit like that.
Yeah. Man, remember when all that stuff came with the Nintendo console? I mean, I love the Switch, but it doesn't have that charm. That like, let's just throw this random stuff in here.
I know. Fuck the 3DS, even like the DS, which had like PictoChat and all that shit, and the 3DS came with so much cool shit. I mean, I guess. No, the Wii U did have a lot of stuff. Yeah, man. Come on. I wish the Switch had more.
Maybe
cool
the Super Switch. Stuff. Maybe the Super Switch. Oh man, going in a completely opposite direction of fun and happiness. I have to talk about the fish cannery scene in What Remains of Edith Finch again.
Radical. I forget what this one is, but please fill my head.
Yeah, it's I actually watched the gameplay clip of it again to refresh my memory, but it remains to be like I think one of the best moments in all of games. So What Remains of Edith Finch is a game where you go back to your family's house where you grew up in, and your family is cursed where everyone dies a horrible death, and you go through the game living out the last moments of different family members. It's not a happy game. I mean, we're talking like there's a point where you're a baby in the bathtub, and yeah. But this is the fish cannery. And it starts with you finding a letter from your I want to say it's your cousin or nephew or something, from his therapist, just talking about their work in his therapy sessions. He was a drug addict, but he had recently gotten clean. He got a job at the fish cannery, and it was just kind of correspondence about how that was going, and you take over as him in the fish cannery. You're just overlooking, like, it's just like a metal tray, and fish come in from the left, and you use one stick to just grab them. You just move your hand over, and it just grabs them automatically. And then you move it to the right to the saw, and it saws their heads off, and then you shove it up. So it's just moving to the left to grab a fish, move it to the right to cut the head off, throw it up to go to the rest of the way. And as the therapist is narrating what was going through, in the top left it starts up his little imagination of what he was imagining while he was doing this fish cannery stuff, because his life was boring and he needed an escape from what his reality was. So on the top left you just control him as like a little top-down adventure. It's super simple. It starts off as just like walking through a cave, and then you get a boat and you get some like choices to make. It was like, and then one day he met A, and you get to pick either a king or a queen, and it just does all these choices and stuff. And as the whole time you're doing the fish thing, so there's this thing going in the top left that you're controlling with the left stick, and you're cutting fish heads with the right stick. And as you're going, the imagination gets bigger and bigger, and the graphics get more and more complex as his imagination takes over. And the therapist, this is getting further than the controls, but that's okay. The therapist like starts talking about how is like one day he told me that he met a friend, and in his imagination he finds a dog. And the therapist says he told me that he still wanted to start a band, and you see in his imagination it's a bunch of guys with instruments following around. So it's just this thing where, like, you know, he's telling the therapist of all this stuff that's going great, but none of it's real. And you're the one controlling this whole thing, and it just feels horrible. And
man.
Eventually it takes over everything. You don't even see the tray anymore. You barely see the fish because his imagination is just taking over his real life. And I won't spoil how that scene ends, but, you know, it's pretty tragic, pretty dark. But just having to control that. And I don't know, it just really made me connect with some of the dead-end jobs I had in life, like when I worked at Walmart, and just standing there being bored out of my mind. I literally would, for hours a day, just try and stack pennies as high as I could on their sides, because you can put them on your sides and get like 2 or 3 up there. Or I would just like make things out of rubber bands and boxes, and just I know that feeling, dude. And just having to go through the motions of life while imagining a better thing, that really hit home.
I need to play that game. That does sound super interesting. It's like all puzzles, isn't it? Or is it more of like a walking simulator?
It's definitely more walking simulator, and then you interact with people in their last moments.
Okay. This still sounds interesting. Yeah, that does suck though. Holy shit! Here's a wild one for you. So, the world ends with you.
Ooh, oh my gosh! Talk about a control scheme.
Not the Switch version or like the mobile phone version. We're talking about like the DS version, because that one was pretty goddamn complex. Because like so like the bottom screen, obviously the touch screen, that's where you do your, like, I guess Neku's psychic powers and shit like that. And depending on like what pins you had equipped, you could do certain things. Like you could scratch an enemy with the stylus for like a few seconds and they would start on fire, or you could like draw a circle around them and it would freeze them, or you could draw an arrow on the bottom screen and it would shoot an arrow at the enemy. And there's all sorts of different stuff you could do. Like I said, there's a billion different pins you could equip for different cool shit. But the top screen you would use to basically input commands for your partner, and depending on who your partner is, they would do things a little bit differently. Like the first one, I should have researched this. I forget what her name is, but she had her little teddy bear thing, and you would use the D-pad to like do different moves and shit, and you could do these like super moves that combined like the bottom screen with the top screen. So you would do something on the bottom screen and go to the top, and you'd put in like these input commands, and then bottom screen again, to kind of like go back and forth a couple times, and then kablam, the enemy is just fucking dead. And then it was
you won the game.
Yep, super cool.
That game, I had that game, and I just could never get used to the controls. But what I will say is it absolutely blew my mind with all the different motions or like drawings that the screen could recognize and register. It was tons. Like, you weren't kidding about a billion different things. There were a billion different things you could draw or scratch or whatever, and it recognized all of them pretty well as from the bit that I played.
Yeah, and then with the Switch version, they really simplified it because it's just all on the, of course, the touch screen. You can do it with, I think, like motion controls with the Joy-Con, and I don't know if you could use it with like gyro controls on a Pro Controller or not, though. But yeah, I'd say the DS version is
without a
best
doubt
way to play. Yeah,
absolutely. Gosh, you just reminded me of 2 games I didn't even have on the list. But I'm going to talk about them anyways. The first one is ARMS, which I only played the demo of, but I still loved it. That talk about boxing games. How did I not even? So ARMS felt so good. Amazing to play. I would never spend $60 on it, but that demo was super fun because it's like a rock, paper, scissors. You played it more than me, so correct me whenever I say anything wrong. But the fun thing was throwing your fists out and then turning the controller to turn your fists as they're flying through the air. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, that was so cool. When have you ever done that? When have you ever thrown a punch and then been able to aim it through the air?
And you're right, it absolutely is like a rock, paper, scissors thing, because you gotta time that shit just right. Because if you throw your punch, of course, with the springy arms, you gotta wait for it to come back.
Yeah.
And like that gives your opponent this time to just punch you right in the face while you're waiting for your arm to come back, or like
while you're waiting for your arm to come back.
And then you could was it you could block to
Yep.
you could do the block to block a punch,
Grab.
or yep, then you could do a grab to counter the block, and then counter a grab, you throw a punch, and yeah, it's
They had a
so good.
mode where it was the 3 people 1v1v1. That was just
Yes.
chaos. It was just fists flying everywhere, people being thrown. I was way in over my head, but like I said, while I played that demo, I just had a blast, like just standing in my room, because that was when the Switch first came out, and we weren't fully aware of how capable the controllers were for motion stuff, and
Yeah.
it really like made me a believer, just being able to turn and guide my fists through the air.
And even if you're not using the motion controls, if you're just using like the Pro controller or something too,
No,
even after you press like the
Don't.
button to punch, you can still curve the punch with the stick.
with the stick, get out of here.
That's what I do. I've never used the motion controls for it.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
sorry.
you gotta stand up in your room and do it. It feels like you're really punching someone.
It feels like your arms are really springs.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, that was my pick, so it's your turn.
Okay. I'm just gonna go with another quick one then, because Arms was also Okami, which I also played a little bit of. The whole drawing your attacks. That I'm not sure if this really counts as, but it was just really cool to be able to draw, like it freezes time and then a little paintbrush comes on the screen, and you guide it around to draw different things. Like you could draw a bomb and then a bomb would appear, or you would just draw a slash and Okami would slash with her sword.
It's the dog's name is Amaterasu, not Okami.
I know, duh. We all know that.
I didn't mean to sound so fucking snarky either.
Actually, you sound like an idiot right now. everyone's laughing at me.
Oh man, yeah, they are. Fuck. Go ahead, dude. Sorry.
That's a game that has been on my list to go back to since like middle school, because I know that it's an amazing, wonderful game. But I played it on the Wii, which you think would work better for drawing the attacks and stuff, but there was a bug that never got fixed, that you couldn't draw bombs. It wouldn't register bombs.
Oh.
And I didn't know that. I just quit playing because I was like, I can't. Every time I drew the bomb, nothing would happen. It wasn't until years later that I went on the internet and Googled it, because I was like, what was up with that? And I saw other people complaining about the same thing.
You should they've released it on like
Everything.
every modern platform now, for like $20. Like the same with Arms too. Like you could get that on sale on Amazon for sure for like maybe $30.
Put
it's
in
good.
code Super Pod Saga. You won't get anything off, but you can put it in.
It's just like, it's like, all right, thanks, I guess.
Thanks for the code.
My next pick is definitely not quick because there's a lot to it.
Good.
Anything in Yokai Watch, because holy shit, they kind of change it up in Yokai Watch 3, but
of course they do.
So the first 2 games, right? Shit, where do I even begin? So when you go out to look for yokai, you use the touch screen for that. And for anybody that's seen the show or whatever the fuck, I don't give a fuck. When he goes to like see yokai, he like presses the button on the watch and like the little lens on top flips up, and like that's how you see yokai, through that lens. So in the game you do the same thing. You flip the lens up and then use the touch screen to like move the lens around. And you have to like hold the lens on the yokai until the meter fills up, and then you fight it, and then in battles, what's also super cool is, rather than being, I guess like say Pokemon where you send one out, or like at other turn-based RPGs where you pick a party of like 3, and you switch one out here and there whenever.
Like Final Fantasy.
Yep. What the fuck? It was. Yeah, there's this wheel. There's this wheel with like 6 spots, and you always have 3 out. Yeah, and if you wanted to switch one out, you would turn the wheel with either the L or R buttons on the 3DS, or you could use the touch screen to turn it. And it was, and like depending on which yokai, this doesn't have to do with the controls, but like, depending on which yokai you had out, you got different bonuses based on their tribes. That doesn't matter. If they got hit with like a curse or something like that, you could purify them again with the touch screen. They're different little, wouldn't call them mini games. It would be like you scratch off all this purple goo stuff, or like you slice these chains off, or you like spin this ball thing until it fills up. And yeah, that was like the first 2 games. And then for the 3rd game, they switched up the combat a little bit. Well, I guess they switched up getting yokai as well too, because like instead of holding the lens on them until the meter fills up, you like shoot this little laser beam thing at them until the gauge fills up, I guess. The combat is a lot better in the third game. It's so cool. So like you have this it's a 3x3 grid, and you have the yokai medals on the grid, and you can like move them around at different positions. So like you can put one behind another. Say you have one guy that's dying, you put him behind another one, and the guy in front will take damage for the guy that's behind him. Or if you put two yokai, if you put them together horizontally, when one attacks, the one that's right next to them will also attack at the exact same time. So you can do that to like link together attacks between all three of them at the exact same time, because otherwise they all will attack at like random times. You can do super moves, and I forget if it was like an actual it was a gun. There was this gun that you get.
It's just a gun.
You can put different metals into it, and depending on like what tribe the yokai belongs to of the metal that you put in, it would have like different shooting patterns. Like I think tough, it would be like the shotgun like blast spread, or like eerie would just be this big fat slug. Yeah, then you would spin this wheel, and if it lands on like this one, you would do damage to the yokai by shooting it with the gun.
Yep.
But then I guess that was, if you're fighting a boss, it'll only damage them. But there was another mode where you could shoot them with this like love ray, so that you could increase your chances of them becoming friends with you, so that they join you and shit. And that is it. That's Yokai Watch.
You know what we need to do?
Huh.
We need to have a special where we bring someone who has no idea what JRPGs are and just explain different battle systems from different games to them.
Oh, we should. That's a good idea.
I don't know what the point is, except for them to be like, "What are you talking about?" But it'd just be so fun to try and explain why they're fun. So you can either attack...
What do you mean you wait?
Yeah, you can wait a turn to charge up your brave meter, or you could select default and you're defending.
Oh man,
it's just random words that don't mean anything.
Oh shit.
Man, should we take an ad break? I think it's time for an ad break.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, we'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you today by our wonderful patrons, A Novel Console and Jared. Your support means the world to us, and we greatly appreciate it. We would be nothing without you. We pray to you every single morning. Thank you. Hey, superstars. Are you a coffee addict looking for your next big caffeine fix? Or are you just tired of all the normal boring coffee options out there now? Well, you need to check out Bones Coffee. Bones Coffee has lots of different varieties of coffee flavors. They've got things like red velvet, cookies and cream, s'mores. They've got one that's called Jamaican Me Crazy that's really good. It's like caramel vanilla rum kind of thing. But they also have just your usual, salted caramel and French vanilla and all that stuff. They even have decaf and what's called high voltage, which is just extra strength, and they've also got espresso. They've got all sorts of cool stuff. Plus, if you use coupon code SuperPodSaga at checkout, you'll get 20% off of your order. And again, that's SuperPodSaga at checkout to get 20% off. You can also follow the link in our episode description. And yeah, why not? Use that one-time coupon code. Like I said, 20% off. It's great. Head over to bonescoffee.com, get yourself some coffee, some cool gear like mugs or French press kits, stuff like that. Check it out. Okay, bye.
Hey listeners, we've heard you loud and clear. You want more Aaron and Tommy in your life. You just can't get enough of the podcast and the articles and everything else. Well, we've got good news. We've partnered with those fancy schmancy AI companies, and we've made an Aaron and Tommy AI bots. You can have one of us or both of us. It's just an app on your phone. You turn it on, whatever you're doing, and we'll be right there with you. You're playing video games, you do something cool, and I'll be like, hey, nice job, man, you did it.
Oh my god, mine would just spout out stupid jokes all the time. Hey, way to go, or something like that. I don't know what I do.
I don't know what I do. Take us to your favorite family functions, and we'll make small chat with people. I'm not very good at small talk, but
that's where I come in. Yeah, I'll chit chat with them. Like, hey, this is great potato salad. What's your secret? Paprika? You're kidding me.
Give me some more of that potato salad, and then they put it on the phone.
It's just You hear this recording of me going, nom 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 nom.
Exactly. More. Don't take my AI with you to Pizza Ranch, because I will be screaming for more pizza.
Oh my God, yes. Or please don't take me to any pho restaurant, because phones are not meant to be dipped into big bowls of pho. Unless you put it in a Ziploc, I guess. That's fine.
But yeah, you can take us literally wherever you want. We'll be your companions wherever you need us to talk to. You will never we never tire. We never get sad. We will always be right there with you for all time. Aaron and Tommy, forever, eternity, AI.
And if you order right now, we'll throw in a free bonus gift. You can get dolls in the exact like proportions of our real bodies, so that you can put your phone in there, and it's like that one Will Smith movie, I, Robot, I think, and we'll be right there with you, except we're robots. Yeah.
I was thinking of the Black Mirror episode, which please don't do to our AI bodies.
please don't have sex with my body.
Please. It's crossing the line. You will be the copyright infringement or something will trigger, and the body will just explode. So check that out. Tommy and Aaron, AI companions, coming your way soon.
Coming to a theater near you.
We're back.
Are we?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay, cool.
I can tell because we're not talking about the ad anymore.
I can tell because my skin is back.
I'm done sweating. I always sweat when we do the ad reads. I get so nervous.
So clammy.
Yeah.
What yeah, it was mine with the Yokai Watch. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's me.
Okay.
I have a very specific one that I might be the only person in the world to have done.
Dude.
It is playing The Witness with a Steam controller specifically.
I think so.
It might be me. It might be the only one. So The Witness is a game where you walk around an island and draw lines on different tablets that are scattered around.
Right on.
It's more complex than that. Like each tablet has a different puzzle on it. They each have their own mechanics and things. But the fact that you walk up to the tablet and you hit A or click on it on your mouse or whatever, and it zooms in on the tablet, and then all you're doing from that point on is drawing on it. You can't look around the world or anything. It's just drawing. So using the Steam controller, which has this big old touchpad on the right side, as soon as I would zoom into the tablet, I would just actually draw it on the touchpad with my little finger. And that was just, it felt so much better than using a control stick and having to hold down and wait for the line to go down all the way and then push to the right.
That's cool.
Or using a mouse or whatever. I actually just drew it right on my thing, and it went like the right speed. It went the right everything. That's the way that you need to play The Witness. Or maybe I guess if they made a VR version and you could actually draw with your finger, that would be a better version. But just playing it with the Steam controller made it way more immersive.
That's cool. Do you think the versions on like the PS4 or PS5 work with that little touchpad?
Ooh, that's a fantastic question. I bet it does. Oh well, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Here's like a real rapid fire one for you. It's a super quick one. Did you ever, I guess, the ability to, when you're playing any Ace Attorney game, to just shout objection into the microphone? Like, that's pretty cool.
Is that really how you did it?
You don't have to. Like you can just do it, but yeah, you can just shout objection.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding! I've never played an Ace Attorney.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah, really.
There's many things I know about you, but I had no idea that you've never played an Ace Attorney game. You need to get on that. They're so fun.
Well, I don't have any DSs anymore.
They're on. I mean, they're also on other systems too, but it's a little bit. I can't imagine not playing it with a touch screen.
You just told me that I can yell objection. If I can't do that on the other versions, I don't want to do it.
I don't think the Switch has a microphone. Yeah, fuck. Sorry, you're out. You're out of luck.
Okay, but go on. Do you genuinely just yell it and it happens?
I think I know on the I've never played them on the like actual original DS, but I know on like the they ported the original 3 games to the 3DS, and even like the newer 3DS ones, you can hold down a button. I think it's like X, and you can just say objection, and then it'll kind of like pause whatever's happening, and then you can submit pieces of evidence and shit like that. But you can also shout. I think it's like hold it. Because some people also say hold it, but yeah, I just do objection. You could be like, objection!
Okay, so it recognizes what you say. Does it default to something if you use something else? Like if you just say, hold the front door, does that just assume that you're saying objection?
Maybe. I've never tried that before. I'll have to try that one of these days. I'll say like, order some hush puppies.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Something.
I don't believe you.
Step away from my mother.
I don't know you. That's my purse.
That's my purse.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Stop it.
Jinx.
Stop.
Jinx.
Stop that.
My actual one is this one will take a little bit more explaining. Is Kirby Air Ride.
Okay.
So in other racing games, you like hold A or like the right trigger to gas, and then I guess like say like Mario Kart, if you want to throw like an item or some shit, you hit like X or Y or whatever the hell, or like right bump or some shit. In Kirby Air Ride, you're always going forward. You can hold A to like inhale enemies when you get close to them, and you push A again to like use your powers. So like if you select up a spiky dude, you'll be spiky Kirby, you hold A and he'll like shoot spikes out and shit like that. Same with like fire and all that stuff. But and then if you want to drift or power slide around a corner or whatever the hell you want to call it, you would hold A and you'll slide around the corner, and you'll also charge up your like little boost meter thing. And yeah, you just let go of A, and then blam, you'll shoot off forward, and that is pretty much it.
Cool.
I guess that wasn't as much explaining as I thought it would be, but yeah, that's Kirby.
Well, still, that's turning Kirby, like making the Kirby mechanics work in a racing game. That's really clever.
Yeah, it is. I think I wrote about this one in that article about one-off games that need a sequel. Kirby Air Ride, please make a sequel, bring it to Switch, do something, because I like that game. It's good.
Yeah.
Good game.
You reminded me of the era where Nintendo just made control schemes maddening on DS for no reason. Like the Kirby platformer where you just drew lines to keep his momentum going.
Oh, the rainbow curse?
Yeah, where you couldn't move him. I never played it. I just saw people playing it where, you just draw lines on the screen and he rolls on the lines, and so you have to like launch him through to keep his momentum going.
Wasn't there also one on the
Wii
Game Boy Advance, I think, where it was Kirby Tilt and Tumble? Yeah, you better be sorry.
Game Boy Color was Kirby Tilt and Tumble, which I owned. It had a gyroscope in it, so you could tilt the controller and Kirby would roll around.
Actually, it was the Game Boy Color.
It was the Game Boy Color, you idiot.
You fucking mongrel. Though that was cool though too.
The one I actually wanted to talk about was the complete insanity of the Legend of Zelda DS games.
Oh yes, that's a good one.
Who would ever choose to control a Legend of Zelda game with just the touchscreen?
That's so insane.
If you would have asked anyone, they would have said no. And I think it worked okay. I never played all of the games, but I played most of them, and it worked okay, but there was no reason to do it. Like, okay, if you've never played a Legend of Zelda DS game, everything was done on the touchscreen. You would hold the stylus on where you wanted to walk, and he would walk towards it, and you'd draw a little slash to do the slash, or you could just tap, I think, and he'd walk to it. It was like a point and click Legend of Zelda, but there's no need for it because the DS has buttons and a D-pad.
Oh, it's like the salad bar at Pizza Ranch, dude. Like, it's there. Like, you don't need to use it, but it's there.
I get furious when people get salad from pizza places. I even get upset that Pizza Hut has wings because it is Pizza Hut.
I just I imagine you like peeking over the counter of the salad bar, like anytime somebody goes to grab like some lettuce or some spinach, you're just like, no, don't do it.
What are you doing? This is Pizza Ranch. Or an old elderly woman walks by with a plate of salad, and I just give her the dirtiest look.
Just flip it, just smack the bottom, spill it all over the place. Like, what do you? This is Pizza Ranch. I'm gonna do the clap thing. It's Pizza Ranch, not Salad Ranch. You fuck.
It's a joke. It's a sick joke.
I mean, you can get pickles and that's cool. They have pudding in there sometimes.
They do have pudding. There was always something in the pudding. The pudding was never just by itself. There was always cottage cheese in it, or salad, mandarin oranges. You could never get just the pudding.
I'm gonna sound like a really, really, really old man here for a minute, but like sometimes I'll get some pickled beets because it just sounds good. But I can only eat one, then I'm sick of them.
I am a cottage cheese fiend. I will eat all of the cottage cheese from anywhere.
Holy shit!
We went to this steak restaurant a couple weeks ago, and you get a salad bar, right? And I was like, yes, it's cottage cheese time, baby. That's why I'm here. And I went to the salad bar, and there's no cottage cheese, none. I literally came back with a plate of like just lettuce and shredded cheese on it because I was prepared for cottage cheese. I didn't know what to do.
You just froze there.
Yeah.
You're just like, what?
Yeah, it's genuinely just like my plan is out the window. I'm broken, man.
You just a single tear rolls down your cheek, like, oh shit! Like, Jessica, we need to leave now.
We need to get out of here.
Get in the car.
No cottage cheese.
Oh, holy shit! Okay. I forget where we were with this.
We were talking about Legend of Zelda on the DS.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. It did other cool things though, like you could blow into the microphone to play your little flute.
That's stupid.
No. But it was so fun the first time just to go, and then you go woo 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 as you're moving the little flute around.
Cool.
What else was there? You could there was one time where you needed to stamp the map, so you had to close the DS and open it back up, and the stamp was on the map.
Oh. All right. Could you slash the screen to attack enemies?
Yeah. You drew little slices.
Cool.
The first one was more like Wind Waker, where it was out on the ocean and you could explore and you could fish for treasure and stuff. And then the second game, they're like, nah, none of that. You take a train around now. We got train tracks everywhere, and you ride your train around. And it was so stupid. And there would be things that would attack you while you were traveling from place to place, and you're just like, shoot at this with your little touch screen. It's just like, I just want to go to the dungeon, and you're making me ride a train to it.
That's pretty stupid. Was the top screen the map screen then, or like inventory screen or whatever?
Probably. I don't remember. I know the bottom screen, which was the smaller screen, was where all the action was.
They didn't need to do that. They could have just made like the bottom. They could have made the bottom screen the inventory screen. You
like
drag and
every
drop
other
shit
game
spots.
on the DS.
Yes, and that could have also been your map. Why did they have to make it so complicated and stupid? Know. Oh my god!
And you can't
salad bar at the Pizza Ranch.
You can't.
Fuck.
It's the Legend of Zelda on DS is the salad bar of Pizza Ranches.
We need to get these shirts going. You should see a picture of like Link at the Pizza Ranch salad bar. Oh shit!
Zelda just gives him a dirty look. Yeah.
Like, cancel that steak, baby. We're going home. Papa's tummy is full of cottage cheese. Have you ever played any of the Trauma Center games on DS?
No, I've watched people play them though on the internet.
There's one on Wii as well too, I guess. But yeah, the DS ones are cooler because a normal fucking DS game. It's not stupid. It's all like all the cool stuff is done on the touch screen. And I take back that stupid part. Like, I'm sure people liked it. I don't care for it. But Tommy also doesn't care for it. But yeah, so yeah, in the Trauma Center games, like different patients will come in and they'll be like, "Oh, his appendix is gonna explode," or like,
we've all been there.
Or like he broke his arm, and like you'll have to use the touch screen to like administer medicine, or like cut somebody open when you're doing surgery, or put on like the topical ointment stuff to like clean a wound. I don't know, whatever. It's just cool, like little doctor, it's like Ace Attorney, but like a doctor, and those games are awesome. It's
another example of just how surprisingly good the DS touchscreen was.
Yeah.
To be able to measure all those things. Like, I feel like kids these days don't understand just how tactile that DS touchscreen was. It was like legitimately amazing.
Playing Roblox on their mobile telephones.
Yeah, or Fortnite on their mobile phones.
Go away.
Did I ever tell you about when I got my appendix removed?
No, I didn't know you had your appendix removed.
I did.
Rip appendix.
That was like 6-7 years ago. I was just at work and my stomach was hurting real bad, and like none of the medicine was working, so I decided to go
Did you go poop?
No, there was no poop to come out.
Oh, whoops.
So I went to like a medical place, and she like had me lay back.
Medical place?
Yeah.
Like a hospital?
Yeah. Shut up.
Go ahead.
And the lady was pressing on my stomach, and she hit my appendix, and I made a face, and she was like, "Oh, I bet that's it." And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Does it hurt when you walk?" And I'm like, yes, it does. And she's like, "It's your appendix." And I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "Can I bring one of the students in here to show them?" I'm like, "Sure, that's fine." And she brings a younger student back, and she's like, "Watch his face when I do this." And she presses directly into my appendix again, causing me pain. She's just like, "See his face? That's how you know it's the appendix." I'm like, couldn't you just told her that with words? Man, that's such a, just thinking back about, like, they're like, "It's your appendix, we're gonna knock you out, and then it's gonna be gone." I'm like, "Okay," and then they just do it, and I wake up and my appendix is gone. Medical stuff is weird.
That is weird. I've never had anything removed, but I've had like, I forget what year it was, but I sliced my hand open with a pair of scissors.
Oh, nice. It's because you're left-handed, wasn't it?
I think so. My mom's old house is super old, and these windows, they're super stupid. You have to like turn this crank to open or close them. Mm-hmm. But if you're trying to close them, or I guess open them, there's this other latch on the side of the window used to like lock or unlock the window.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But the lock thing was broken, or no, the crank was stupid, so like it wouldn't crank in all the way. You had to like get something in to like pull the window closed. Mm-hmm. And I could have had a butter knife. I could have had like a screwdriver. Nope, I had this pair of razor sharp scissors, and I was pulling the window closed, and they slipped, cut my hand open. Yeah, then I went into surgery because they had to reattach the tendons and all this shit. And I woke up and I was like, "Man, am I hungry?" Because you can't can't fucking eat for like 7 hours before surgery, which is stupid. And my mom took me to like Arby's or something, and it hit real hard. It was so good.
This is gonna be a story of small town stuff. I broke my arm in a car accident in college, and I had to do, after I got the cast off, I had to do, what's it called, the physical therapy. And they, in Iowa City, they would have me do like these really small exercises. Like a lot of times they were like, "Just bend it a little bit. Okay, next week we're going to bend it half an inch more." And I was like, "Okay, I guess this is how it is." But then the summer came up and I moved back home. So I went to our small town chiropractor because that's the best we had. And
nice.
And he was like, "I got something for you." And he goes into a closet and comes out with a piece of wood with a bunch of screws sticking out of it. And he's like, "Every day I want you to screw this into the board and then unscrew it out of the board 5 times a day."
What the fuck? Okay.
I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "Tell me what they had you do." And I told him. He's like, "Classic big city. They're just trying to get money out of you. This is how we're gonna fix your wrist."
Oh my fucking god, dude! Of course. Was that? I assume they didn't have a doctor's office in Ireton, right? Was that in Hawarden?
Yeah, it was in Hawarden.
Cool. That's where I did all of my physical therapy for my hand. They would just have me try to like squeeze a ball and like pull a rubber band or something.
Yeah.
They spared no expense.
They spared no expense. Oh man. Speaking of not sparing expense, I only have one more on my list, and I'm glad that I get to talk about it because you should be embarrassed that you haven't brought it up yet.
Okay, I am. I already am.
It's controlling the course in Monkey Ball.
Oh, fuck! God, I suck.
Yeah, everyone's laughing again.
Everybody listening to this is like, "Ha! What a fucking idiot, Aaron."
You didn't say it. But yeah, I've played very little Monkey Ball, but even when I do, it's just super fun because instead of every other game where you control the character, in this game you control the course. You tilt the stick and it tilts the course around, and you have to try and move your little monkey ball around the course by tilting the course all kinds of directions. Sometimes you have to go over ramps or avoid obstacles, and it's all by tilting. It gets really difficult and frustrating.
fuck, I can't believe I forgot all about that. Was also in another article I wrote. God damn it. Those are so good.
Did you have another one?
Yeah, my last one is, well, I had a couple, I guess, but the other one doesn't matter. It's stupid.
Yeah, stupid.
My last one is Monster Hunter, because the controls in that game are just fucking insane.
A nightmare.
It's so, yeah, of course you move the left stick, turn the game with the right stick, but controls are just super weird because I guess attacking is all right. So you use like combinations of X with like the right trigger and right bump, and it depends on what kind of weapon you're using. You'll do different little things, but if you want to change like what item you want to use, like if you want to drink a potion to heal up, eat some meat to get more stamina back, or just like throw a little kunai or something like that, you hold left bump, or no, yeah, you hold left bump or right bump, I forget, and then press like, it's like B and Y, I believe, or A and B, and you'll cycle through your different items, and like whichever one is like, I guess in this little icon in this folder thing, you'll push X or whatever the fuck to use it, and you'll drink it up. The controls in Monster Hunter are just like, they're weird
first. It's a nightmare.
Yeah. Once you get used to it though, it's like, I mean, I don't know how I forgot, but I'm sure once I step into the game, I'd remember instantly.
That is the best though, when you get used to the complex controls and it just feels like you're piloting a machine.
Yes.
But that's it. Ooh. That's it. There's no more cool control gimmicks.
No more at all.
We didn't even talk about how you charge your saber up in No More Heroes, and that's impressive.
Ooh, that's a good one too. And my other small one was was Dead Space with the plasma cutter, pushing like right bump to turn it like horizontal.
That's a great one. That's a good one too. If other people think of ones, how do they tell us?
Yeah, if they want to find our social medias or stuff like that, they can go to superpodsaga.com and they can find all like our Facebook, if you use that still, Twitter, all that stuff. You can check out some of our episodes, our blog. You can support us on Patreon too. That'd be cool. For $2 or $4 a month. But if not, hit us up and tell us what cool control gimmicks you like. Yeah, gimmicks.
Yeah, or just keep listening to us. I like that you listen to us too. That makes me happy.
That too. Yeah.
If they want to keep listening to us, what are they going to hear us talk about next week?
Next week, I think it'd be cool to talk about the like the whole Legend of Zelda series.
Oh man, what great timing! What great timing! The whole series, we can do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Easy peasy. 20 minutes in and out.
It's 20 minutes. Yeah, it's good.
It's good. Okay, bye. No. But yeah, so look forward to that. Check us out on other places on the internet. Thank you for listening. We love you. You're beautiful. Bye.